Hey, Grave here. So everyone's talking about Marathon, well, also Microsoft in their price hikes for a console that's not selling. Nintendo raising their prices because well, Nintendo doesn't really have any competition in its space. They're also cracking down heavily on Pal World. Pal World's had to change a lot well, a handful of things in their game because Nintendo's copyrights, which you shouldn't just don't copyright gameplay mechanics, please. Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War have locked up their whole Nemesis system in copyrights, and dang it, Warner Bros. They've had their own problems with games. Um, but Marathon, big topic right now. Yay! Everyone's talking about how there's good, there's bad. A lot of Destiny shines with its environments, then shines with its lore. Yeah, so there. I think generally, depending on how they handle invis in this game. It could go well, could go very badly. Same with if there's any wall hacks like True Sight in Destiny. Um, extraction the extraction shooter is an interesting pivot for Destiny, and I feel like they definitely need a pivot to expand the audience and make them not just a one trick pony. But at the same time, um, I'm not certain that their extraction shooter is ready for market yet. Based off of what people have said in the alpha, well, in the alpha test, or even about it, things like being able to res where your buddy's corpse is, that's not something that should be there. You shouldn't be able to. You need to go to find an actual location to res them back, and not res someone with just right on their corpse. That's a dumb move, I think, on their part. Uh, I think it'd be a little different if they said it was a you incapacitated or knocked him out, but I don't know. Generally, I think at $40, Marathon is not going to do too well. You've got free to play options. You've got Arc Raiders coming up in a similar window. I think Arc Raiders is going to sell a lot better because of their setting, because their environment. Sci-fi is a harder sell for a lot of people. I got friends that, well, I got a friend that very, very vehemently is against sci-fi, and no, he's very against fantasy and loves sci-fi. And I've got other friends that are on fantasy, but really into sci-fi. It is generally just a mixed bag of depending on who uh, you can convince, and I think this the setting is going to play a big role. Um, Generally, Bungie does interiors well. They do environments really well. They do lore real well. Their gunplay really good. Um, Abilities. Yeah. All right. So here's kind of wall hacking. Kind of. Can you see through that glass? Not really. Yeah. All right. So I don't think wall hacks should be in any sort of PvP style game. A PvE game? No, I don't. I got no problem there because you're fighting the computer. Okay, here we go. You're reviving someone from their corpse. That is, I think, a bad move. You should be able to, let's just say, pick up your teammate's drop backpack. Pick one up, pick both up, whatever. Drag them over to a revive station. I don't think that reviving on the spot they died is good for the actual player-on-player engagement. Uh, I People are saying that it's just going to be another Concord. Um, yeah, I mean it could. It's, I mean, both are. A lot of people are drawing the similarities of. Both are at $40. Both are chasing trends. Concord is basically just an overpriced Overwatch that just doesn't play as well. I guess. I don't know. I never touched it. I played Overwatch a bit though. Marathon, I think generally at the moment is. I don't think it's going to do incredibly well. I would say we need to see an open beta sometime in the next few months. Hopefully, around then, Bungie starts playing one of their aces to get people hyped for the game. The fact that there's a lot of criticism means there is a lot of interest and a lot of attention on it. Problem is, people are constantly bringing up Arc Raiders, Arc Raiders, Arc Raiders. And that is great for competition. And Marathon is going to get hit hard. I think they need a different release window. Because Arc Raiders is coming out when? When is Arc Raiders coming out? Do we have a date for Arc Raiders? No, we don't have a... Alright. We don't have a date for Arc Raiders. We just know Arc Raiders is going to eventually come out. We also don't have a price point. I think the most likely is $40. Uh, 20 to 40 I think is fine for PvP or focused games because when it comes down to it, you need a paywall, you need a price barrier to keep cheaters out. Destiny right now has a big problem of cheaters. I know for a while Curse of Osiris was rampant with them. Marathon, I think generally needs more time to cook in order for people to get in order for Bungie to fix the issues people have with the game at the moment. Uh, it's in what, September? We got 4 months. We've got 4 months until Marathon is supposed to drop. 4 or 5 months, depending on where they fudge things around. Doesn't matter. Let's say, for the sake of it, you got 4 or 5 months. Let's say you don't got. There is not enough time for them to make any meaningful changes. They can make slight tweaks. They can make modifications. One thing I think they're gonna really need to modify is aim assist on PC and not on controller. That's a really weird take. That's a really weird thing they've done. All right. A lot of issues I'm hearing people talk about. I think they need at least another 6 months, maybe a year on it. Generally, as it sits, depending how they handle the abilities, depending how they handle the individual characters, and depending on how the game itself works with the maps and all of that. Supposedly at the start of it, they talked about having different secrets to discover and bits of lore to find. That's possibly cool. In order for anything to really in order for them to really gain attention and traction, they're going to need to start playing their aces one by one. I don't think playing their whole hand is a good idea. I think maybe throw one ace down, then two closer to launch, and keep maybe a third or fourth in your to your chest, and be ready for post launch. But Bungie, if you're holding any aces, start playing them because people are interested but dismayed and hoping that you'll do better. Destiny is I was gonna be frank here. You really shat the bed with Lightfall. You kind of made up for it with Final Shape. And you have lost a lot of people over the duration of the episodes. Your general issue at the moment, Bungie, is that you are struggling to keep people engaged, and who knows? Maybe Destiny will make a comeback with your season of prophecy, with your year of prophecy, and your whole start to next big saga. Cool. Hope you really need to bring up a big antagonist for everything. But for this extraction shooter, you need if you're gonna go focus on the narrative, start playing the ace here. If you got some big gameplay change overhaul, throw the ace here. Show something. Because right now, people are it's people are looking at Marathon and saying, "I'll just wait for our creators." Because right now we might be looking at another Concord. We might be looking at or we could be looking at an Anthem, where it's liked by people really, and people think it's really well done, and then they plan to do an overhaul, but EA killed Anthem's overhaul, and Sony could kill Marathon's overhaul. We just don't know yet. I'm hoping that we don't get either of those scenarios and we just get a good game. I probably won't play it because I'm not going to be able to convince two of my friends to play it. Our creators, on the other hand, I can convince a handful of friends to play that. As it stands, the, Marathon needs something to draw people in. What that something is, I don't quite know. Because people are on the setting. Whereas a post-apocalyptic world in Arc Raiders, much easier to bring people in to that setting. Marathon, who knows? Could be a decent game. Could be another mediocre game like Concord, Starfield, and what else? I can't bring to memory anything else to continue that. Or it could be a Anthem style thing where game's pretty good. It's got some interesting concepts, but just needs help get polishing it up, and it gets cut, waxed. Who knows? I know Bungie's been struggling with their own internal issues. I know Sony's looking at them saying, "Hey, we spent a lot of money on you. We're still spending a lot of money on you. We need results." As things stand, we're gonna need to wait and see. I personally, I don't have any high hopes for Marathon, but Bungie, please prove me and everyone else wrong, because this and the year of prophecy for Destiny are all that really is keeping you afloat with Sony. Of course, then again, this is also a bit of Sony pushing for their live everything being live service. I think that's a stupid push. I think it's a very stupid plan. As we have seen EA learn, and as we've seen the world learn, that single player and even if slightly multiplayer games are still very, very profitable. EA with Jedi Survivor, well, Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, and everyone with Baldur's Gate 3, single player is far from dead. In fact, so many people like single player games that how many updates did Baldur's Gate get released just for free? 8 major patches with a lot of hotfixes in between. Sony, I don't think you're going to listen to this either. Release more single player games. Release them on PC. Move away from your live service hype train, because you're gonna be you and everyone else is struggling to find the light or trying to make a lightning in a bottle. You ain't gonna catch that lightning in a bottle. It's gonna be something spontaneous. You had that once with Helldivers, and you shit the bed in that. Lightning in a bottle. Definitely something that it's hard to find, and I don't know where I'm going with that. Well, until next time, Grave signing off, and have a blessed day.